Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's Kevin Jackson, Joe KJ Radio. Did you hear about this family that had 12, what was it? I don't know how many brothers, 12 brothers and sisters locked up, filthy conditions, malnourished, leftist. Who does this? The only people that do this are crazy leftists. Oh, they'll point. Oh, Kevin, it's the David Koreshes of the world. It's like that dude, what was his name? Castro, that kidnapped these girls and held them in the basement as sex slaves. Let me tell you who does that. Crazy leftist. Number one, they foment these guys. They create these people. They give them, they make people expendable. Who cares? Throwaways, teenage runaways, and so on and so forth. Do you want to know why teenagers run away? Teenagers run away when they don't have any love. That's typically going to be the reason. Don't misunderstand me. You know, kids will be kids sometimes. They get crazy. They act out and do some things like that. And it's universal. It has nothing to do with your upbringing. But I'll tell you this. Conservative kids, for the most part, are going to have a lot less reason to run away. I've threatened to run away with my grandmother. I did when I was a kid. When I said, I'll leave. I'm leaving. I hate it here. And my grandmother said, go. And I looked at her like, what you mean? She's like, go. She goes, I'll help you pack. Go ahead and go. I said, I'll go. She says, go. Now, I don't know if she said it if we lived in the city, because I was 2 miles from the gate and 11 miles from town. But I think in the city, she still would have said, go. You go ahead. You want to go? You want to leave? You're going to find out there's no utopia out there. Same as these leftist kids, these millennials in college. They think, oh, Lord, this is going to be so good. Wait till you get out of college. Wait until, ooh, man, I'm going to tell you, I don't wish any bad karma on anybody, but there's a part of me that says wait till life just grabs you by the throat and then just slaps you right across the face with the other hand. Leftists. 17-year-old girl called police after escaping from her family's home where she and her 12 brothers and sisters, 13 kids, locked up, held hostage. It said the girl was so small, officers initially believed she was only 10. They called 911, met by police who interviewed her, and then they went to the family home, which is in Paris, Perris, 70 miles southeast of Los Angeles. Surprised? Anybody surprised that it's crazy people like this? They're all over California, too. I remember watching that movie, The Hills Have Eyes. That's the way I view California. Don't let your car break down in California. No. You will end up in somebody's basement or in their torture room, wishing that you had never entered the People's Republic of California de Mexico, okay? I'm just saying, don't play around over there. Make sure the car is gassed up. It's good, good to go. Don't take your hoopty. Never to be seen again. They said they found several children shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks in dark, foul-smelling surroundings. This is the Riverside Police Department. Now, I want you to think about what Donald Trump said when he talked about those crap holes, supposedly, right? You didn't have to fly anywhere to go see one. The Riverside Police found one in the People's Republic of California, a state run by Moonbeam, the governor, right? And let me tell you something. The governor of California, he's not interested in sex trafficking. He's not interested in kids that malnutritioned or anything else. He just wants your tax dollars. The children, ages 2 to 29, appeared to be very malnourished and very dirty, according to the press release when they announced the arrest of the parents. The victims were provided with food and beverages after they claimed to be starving. David Allen Turpin, 57, Louise Anna Turpin, 49, each held on $9 million bail. So they're not going to get out. They said they don't have any attorneys, but they're being charged with torture and child endangerment. This is a heartbreaking scene, heart-wrenching, because think about this. 13 kids. I mean, mom is a machine. She's popping those bad boys out once every year or so, right? Every year and a half. And I don't know why do you keep having kids when all you're going to do is torture them? It makes no sense to me. You have kids because you love them and you care about them, and I mean, this makes no sense. But let me tell you, the left don't care about this. They will claim to care. State Department records show that the family had the same address as the, quote, Sandcastle Day School. This is not going to look good on the homeschoolers. David Turpin is listed as principal. In the 2016-17 school year, it had an enrollment of 6, one student in each of the 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 12th grades. Now here's the part that gets me. This part of the story. Neighbors say they were stunned by the arrest. The guy who lives around the corner heard about the case from a friend, and here's what he says. I had no idea this was going on. I didn't even know there were kids in the house. Other neighbors described the family, and here we go, as intensely private. Now look, I don't want to get all in your business, neighbors, but here's what I'm going to tell you. When you find that your neighbors are intensely private, it generally means something's going on. I'm not telling you to get paranoid. I'm just telling you, get on alert. Something's going on. Look, how many times have we heard these stories? Remember the guys who shot up San Bernardino? These people were like, oh, yeah, well, we saw they were bringing in, weapons and C4 and, bazookas, but, they seem pretty nice. Or you get the guy, man, I never would have guessed. I mean, old Fred over there, he just pretty much kept to himself. Kept the window. Remember the guy who actually had those girls downstairs for sex slaves? He covered up. You couldn't look into his house from any direction. It was like he put the darkest, blackest, what do they call that stuff? The window treatment on you could possibly have. You couldn't look in. Oh, he seemed like a nice guy. He'd come out, he'd say hello, whatever, but you couldn't look in, and never saw anybody in or out except his brother. Look, there's always a sign. I'm not telling you if you see something, say something and start narking on your neighbors, but dadgummit, man, come on. When do you wake up and go, something's wrong here? These people had 13 kids, and a guy goes, I didn't even know there were kids in the house. Wow. Look, I don't know. I can't speak to this. I'm not their neighbor, and I'm certainly not condemning these guys, but I'm saying, look, we got to be more vigilant as a society. This is crazy. Leftism, California. Land of fruits, nuts, and fairies.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.